let's get into this recap.
Let's do it.
So we head in. It is essentially decision day.
Yeah.
For these couples. So we'll start with Haley and Pilar. So Haley gave the ultimatum, but Haley is still coming to terms with the fact that she fully fell in love with Megan.
Yep, and Megan's now ignoring her and demanding respect for her relationship.
Yes. She's just left feeling insane, like she lost her mind. So Haley decides she needs to confront Megan. And it's like, I just don't think you're being honest about our trial marriage. You're not being honest about your feelings. You literally said I love you to me, and then you're denying that happened. Like, just for her own closure. She's like, I just need accountability, because it was nuts. Megan is just
she said, absolutely not. I have boundaries in my relationship. Okay. You didn't give me the space that I needed to have my trial marriage with Dana.
Oh my God.
Does she remember them destroying their relationship in front of the entire dinner table at decision day, last decision day?
Right.
Like, oh my God, they forget everything.
Dana and Megan, literally, it's almost like Men in Black when they put the little thing in front of them. They just like wiped their whole trial marriage clean and just left Mel and Haley in the dust.
Yes, and then demanded an apology for Dana.
And an apology,
for Dana, which is wild. Like, that's so crazy. And then she said, if you don't give me Dana, that apology, I don't want you in my life in any capacity.
And Haley said, fine, I don't want to be in your life either. Bye.
I don't want to be in your life in any capacity either. See ya. Yep.
What was Haley doing? They were really acting like Haley was stalking them or something.
They really
made it seem like it was extreme. And it's like, I feel like she just texted you or Shazammed a song and sent it to you. That's what
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a lot.
I don't know either. Yeah.
So anyways, Pilar and Haley, they meet up. Pilar realized from this whole journey just how much like family trauma she had. That was like her lesson, because her and Kyle weren't really doing shit. So she just needs to sit with herself. And Haley, going into the engagement, is wondering if she should set Pilar free because of the fact that she fell in love with somebody else. Like, was that fair to her to do? But anyways, they meet up, they get engaged.
Yeah, very nice.
It was very nice. For Haley and Pilar, I feel like it could have easily gone either way. Because they've been together so long, and I find it hard to imagine being with someone for 10 years and not getting married to them. Because of the investment of my time, my efforts, whatever. Like, this happens every day. People invest so many years with a person and then they don't get married. And so I can imagine, like, I can't imagine not, even if things are bad, like, we gonna figure this shit out, you know? So I pray that they last, and I hope that this is genuine and it isn't just really falling back on the longevity, because it's scarier to just walk away. But yeah, it really comes down to if Haley and Pilar are going to really be able to move past the fact that they Haley fully fell in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
I think their test.
Megan being so mean at the end, and Haley realizing what type of person she was, and realizing this truly was 3 weeks.
Yeah. Like, who am I kidding?
Yeah. I think she snapped out of it.
Yeah. Now, AJ and Britt.
Oh, the best. This was like watching The Bachelor. This was like watching Joey and what's her name? Kelsey.
Yeah. AJ really just needed to get over herself. That was
literally her ego. That was it.
That was really it. That was the agreed upon issue. This is not a Brit problem at all. Like, this is all to do with AJ just getting over her shit. And so, yeah, they meet up. AJ talks about how she made it about like not feeling like a priority in Brit's life because of Brit and her business. But really, which I think she says later in the reunion, what AJ learned from, I want to say Marie, was Brit is always going to choose you. Business or not. Like, the world is on fire. She's not saving her business. Like, she's going with you. And like, finally hearing that, it's like something finally clicked that like, I'm making this shit up, really. So yeah, they get engaged as well.
Love it. Love their outfits too. That was great.
I hated Brit's dress, but sure.
Oh yeah, it was a little cheap, but I just like how they were like matching but not.
Yeah. Now, Marita and Ashley.
Girl, Marita came for her moment with this outfit on.
This white dress. She knew she was getting married.
Uh-huh.
So, Ashley, going into engagement, she says she regrets not going all out during their trial of marriage. Mm-hmm. Because Ashley really only had one job. You got 3 weeks, bitch. Every day buy flowers. Every other night take her out to dinner. Like, it's really not that hard.
Cook the thing. Text Brittany.
Get the
How do you cook
recipe.
oxtail? She's
Thank
really
you.
talking about it. What do I do here?
Yes.
And she said, fuck all that. I don't feel like it.
I don't feel like it. That's all she really had to do. And so now she's walking in like, fuck. Like, really regretful. Marita's walking in debating whether she should just walk away because she knows going into this is like bullshit. Like, we really should not be getting engaged. We're not ready for this. And so, Ashley reads this whole letter about, which I thought was sweet, just like learning that she deserved love again through Marita. And I just knew that it was going to end. They weren't going to be engaged when she said, you deserve the world, whether with me or not.
Oh, and not. Yeah. I was like, well, she's definitely not going to say no damn proposal. So.
No. Can you imagine that being part of your proposal? Oh, whether we're together or not. Want to marry me? Like, question mark? So, she basically says Ashley, like, an engagement doesn't feel right. Marita, as much as she was on the fence, she said she still came in ready to say yes.
Obviously, with this outfit.
Clearly.
This delusional ass outfit that she had, I could not believe this, Natasha. I was like, oh my God. She really thinks she's going to her engagement party right after this. Like, she's going to have a surprise engagement party.
Yeah, she was ready. I just don't understand people walking into proposals so unconfident. Yeah, and like, it can go either way. We'll see what she says. Like, I came here ready, knowing damn well our relationship isn't bad in a bad way.
Right. And you don't want to marry her.
You don't want to marry her. She does not measure up, quote unquote, to what you need.
Yeah.
Stop the madness. So she was ready to walk away without hugging Ashley. Ashley had to call her back. It was already a mess from here. From this little breakup. And so that's how they end. Kyle and Bridget. Bridget's still not making no sense to me, honestly. She says in her confessional going into the engagement, how can I get married if I don't know who I'm going to be in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years?
On the surface, that sounds like a legit question, but it's really, you could just be secure in who you are because you're like 29. And you could just know that you'll be fine, whoever you evolve into being.
Yeah, because this is your person and you want to do life with them regardless.
And this is like a teammate thing. This isn't a forever you have to romance me, forever we have to be on, the tip top of Romance Mountain. Like, that's not how it is all the time in marriage. You know what I mean? It's like a teammate thing that you're going through life together.
Right.
But, she put on her Silk Sonic shirt.
She did.
And that blazer. And she knew what she was going to do.
She knew what she was going to do. So Kyle going in, she realized through her time with Pilar that she just has a lot. She individually has a lot still to work on. And just like how much she is a people pleaser and all that jazz. So they meet up. Kyle can't picture life without her. She proposes. Bridget says yes. I don't think these people are ready for marriage.
Yeah.
To me, Kyle seems more lost than when she started. Personally, drop in the comments if you also see that with her.
Oh no.
I don't feel like she's more confident from this place. I feel like she's almost like unlocked a new
fear?
Fear and a new realm of like shit she got for herself that she needs to figure out. Yeah. How somehow she's wheeled this into like, no, I actually feel closer to Bridget and I think it's better now. Like, I don't know. I'm not buying their shit at all, Kyle and Bridget.
Yeah.
And even Bridget in the little like interview afterwards, she's like, well, if she wants marriage, we'll have a happy lasting one. It's still all about Kyle. Like, she didn't learn her lesson either, which was to come to a conclusion for herself, whether she wants to do marriage or not. She's still saying she's doing it just for Kyle, which I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Now, Dana and Megan.
Mm-hmm.
They just like so much damage was done. Like,
yeah, scorched earth with these two.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of shit there to like overcome and move past. And so Dana meets up with Mel first to bring some closure there. And she going in says she has feelings for Mel, but she didn't know what those feelings were. But now she's ready to articulate to Mel what they are. Mel coming in, Mel is just lost, just a lost soul. Like, yeah, she just needs a hug. She has
intense therapy by herself.
Yeah, so you could feel her heaviness and the weight of the burdens and the things laying on her, and she just wants to lay them on anybody, whoever feels cushy and comfortable right now in the moment. And I think she feels like she's hurt Marie so much, and she's seeing already how she's just become her uncle, that she's ready to just like dead that situation and just move on to another one. That's all I feel from her. It's like just yearning to be somewhere else and try again. Yeah,
and yearning to for the most toxic person in the cast, which is Dana. She said that Dana like makes her feel the safest, and I was like, oh Mel.
Yeah, what?
Oh, and there's some points, right, when you're between 26 and 35, I would say, really, where you start to say to yourself, hold on, I'm repeating a pattern. If I trust this person, that means it's bad. Right?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have that forethought or that wherewithal, but yes, that's the healed mind speaking,
right?
Questioning patterns and like, wait a second, this feels familiar and good. Maybe this is like too familiar or too good. I need to do the opposite. So Mel is like, it was all real to me. The second I saw you, I felt so safe. I care so much about you. And you could see she's still coming in ready to run away with Dana, like fully ready. Dana just flat out stops in her tracks. It's like, I don't have the capacity to open my heart to you. I am fully in love with Megan. And I'll love you forever, but it ain't like that. Now, Mel is like grasping for straws. I mean, she tells her, I don't want to be friends. Like, I don't want a friendship with you, which is not true. Like, she wants Dana in her life. And then this is where you see their friendship, actually. Because Mel then opens up to her like a friend and is like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. Like, I got this ring from Marie, and Dana's like, what you gonna do with the ring? What you mean? Like, they were friends. Like,
and taking really good advice from Dana, I think. It was really very straightforward in a way that Mel needs to hear. She needs to hear like plain and clear. Right?
Yeah. She's talking about she was nervous. She wants to throw up. She's doing this for Marie, like fully admitted she's just doing this for Marie. And Dana had to just like talk her off the ledge. And you need to figure out what you want. This ain't it, girl. You want a therapist. That is what you need and want. Now, Dana and Megan meet. They get engaged. They're all in. They're committed. They've solved their issues.
They are, when I tell you, just two brooms brushing under the rug. Cynthia Erivo, and Wicked just brushing it under the rug. Oh my God. The way that Megan was like, we don't have to worry about her anymore. I already told her that she needs to have you an apology or else. I was like, why are you proud of this? What?
So proud. Oh my God. I think maybe they both wronged each other in the exact same way. So like kind of just like
yes. Like, so two negatives cancel out. Okay,
They both had sex. They both fell in love. All right, clean slate. There's nothing to hold over the other person's head. So maybe that's what made it easier to move on. I guess I don't know.
Probably.
Now Mel and Marie, they just give me so much anxiety as they were walking up to each other. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because of their intertwined lives already. When they were walking up to each other, I was like, what is the point of this? Where is the contract for the food truck?
Truly, what is the point of this relationship? Let's be for real. Marie and Mel, please. What is this?
Oh my God.
So Mel is walking up, still, as she's walking, still figuring out what she's going to do, she's going to do. Mm-hmm. Walking up to propose to someone to spend life together. You debating in your head, what should I do?
I don't think she thinks of it like that, though. I think she just thinks of it as like the next step.
Yeah, what Marie wants. This is what the next action I need to take.
Yeah. Because when you got engaged, didn't you think like I can get married tomorrow?
Yeah,
right.
Truly,
yeah, that's
yes.
what I thought too.
Yeah, no question, no debate. Just all right. Let's wait a year and plan this wedding thing and do the thing, but like easily. Mm-hmm. So Mel says, there are days I can't picture life without you. Then there are days where I just feel like I'm doing you a disservice. Like,
you don't have to add that in. The honesty just like slips. It creeps out all the time with her.
Mm-hmm. And then she gives Marie the ultimate ill setup.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
The illest setup with the ring pop.
The ring pop, girl.
This was a test.
This is so crazy.
Oh my!
I don't care how cool and down to earth and low key and low maintenance Marie is. Nobody wants a ring pop.
You're just playing with me.
You're playing.
You're playing around.
This is
marriage.
not serious.
Yeah.
This is not serious to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think half the reason why a lot of men try to make their shit work is because they spend so much goddamn money on that ring.
And you can't take it back.
And you can't return that shit.
Which is such a fabulous, I'm sure, made by a woman. I wonder if that was made by a woman, that rule. That you can't take an engagement ring. You can't return it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder if that's whose rule that is. Because that's definitely a rule.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Huh. So this ring pop shit, like... What's the difference between yesterday and today?
Exactly.
What's the difference between today and tomorrow? Yep. Mm-hmm. You have no skin in the game financially, and also you just don't. This is a joke.
This is
not a symbol of anything.
This ring that you got already, this diamond, was free.
This Netflix ring.
Netflix gave it to us.
That as well. Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, I literally have my notes. Mel, don't piss me off. This motherfucking ring pop. I was so mad. Somebody did this last season too. I was so mad.
Friend, I have a would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather get proposed to with a ring pop?
Uh-huh.
Or get proposed to with a promise ring? So not even, you think you're getting proposed to and they bust out, actually, here's a promise ring.
A promise ring.
So an intermediate step before the engagement. That or a real proposal, but it's with a ring pop.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh.
Both terrible options.
They're both rough because a ring pop, you are playing in my fucking face. Like, that is just like the worst. But then a promise ring, I have to wear this around and then explain. It's not an engagement ring.
Yeah.
And that is rough for me. I just know too many people. So it would just be too much explaining of this thing that's just very arbitrary. And like, maybe the ring pop, because then I know to break up with you. There we go. The ring pop. Yeah. Because the promise ring really could be it really could be a thing. Mm-hmm. But the ring pop is definitely, you are straight up playing in my face.
Yeah. I think this would have to depend on how old I am.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How old was I when I get 31, I think?
Yeah.
31. Yeah. And I hope I don't offend anybody out there, but for me personally, 31 with somebody for 2-3 years, however long Nate and I were on the track to engagement, all of this, and you bust me, you come at me with a promise ring that I now have to explain to everybody. I'm not doing this. Yeah. If I was 23, 24, 25, that just feels like a more appropriate age. To be, we have a promise ring. We're on a path to engagement. Trying to explain that shit at my big age at 31, you just set me up. I just feel like it's a setup.
Yeah.
So I'll take the rim pop, as you said, break up with you later, or we marching straight to Jacob's Jewelers, or what's it called? Jared's Jewelers, or whatever the hell.
Jacob's Jewelers. To go from a ring pop to Jacob's Jewelers is wild.
Give me a diamond chain with like a spinning wheel.
Spinning Jesus.
Not Jacob. What's the one I'm thinking of? Jared?
You're thinking of Jacob the Jeweler?
I think of Jacob the Jeweler, but what's the one in the mall? Jared.
Yeah.
We're going straight there. I'll take this ring pop. We want straight over there.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, everybody gets engaged except Marita and Ashley. 5 out of 6 couples.
Yeah.
That's a really strong ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So the reunion episode 12 was 1 year later now. So they've all been together for a year. A year has passed. Everyone shows up together except Mel and Marie.
Yeah. And this is not live, so they don't know any social media anything either, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. And Mel walks in looking down bad, yo.
Yeah, like she needs
to shower. She looks like she's taking care of herself.
I was like, what are we doing here? What?
Yeah, wasn't good.
But she's, we know kind of why ish. She's taking over that business by herself. She's tired.
Yeah, she's tired, literally. AJ and Britt hated Britt's dress again.
Hated it. Oh my god, I hated it so much.
It was real bad.
But I just love the shade. That mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, and their little matchy little color combo palette was cute. But yeah, they're doing great. She's got more work-life balance. They got a stronger relationship with God. You know, AJ thanked, it was Marita. Marita was the one that said to her, "To the business in you, she will always choose you," and how that stuck with her. And then they turned to Marie, because Marie was AJ's partner in this whole thing. And Marie was tight. She was still very angsty towards AJ for how their trial marriage went 1 year ago.
Yeah.
And really, she just felt like slighted. Like, I guess watching back, she's like, everybody got the experience and I didn't, because also it seems like AJ and Britt were sneaking around a lot more.
A lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Because somebody else jumped in. I think it was like Bridget, maybe.
I want to say, Bridget. Yeah.
I would see Marie all by herself all the time, walking the dog. Like, AJ was nowhere in sight.
Yeah.
So I get that, actually. I would be real pissed, because now they're like the crown jewel couple. Everything's fine. It's like, y'all didn't even do the fucking process. You were hanging out the whole time. So, so yeah, that happened. Then Ashley and Marita, goddamn.
Oh my God, the drama. They were showing their age in this one.
Oh my God. Yeah.
When they said define cheating, I said, oh Lord, here we go.
Oh my God. So since the show has just been a mess, this has been a hot mess. They still can't get their stories and their facts aligned. Ashley asked Marita says that Ashley asked her father for his blessing to take her hand in marriage, I guess. But then she didn't propose still. So obviously she was tight about that. And then there was something about Marita's grandfather dying while Ashley was cheating on her. But then Ashley's grandma died.
But Ashley's grandma was currently sick, but then she cheated on her 5 times. I was like, what is all of this escapism? What are we talking about?
It was too much. I was laughing, yo. When she mentioned the grandma, I was like, this is crazy. What am I watching right now?
Yeah.
And Marita was like mad. She said, I fucking hate you. Ashley ran off stage. She's like, yeah, get out of here. Like, it was a lot of animosity, bad blood between these two. And then, Ashley came back. Marita just says Ashley didn't put any effort in to this whole process. And she's just like done with her. They're just like on terrible terms.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but
very. Pray for Ashley.
So you gotta have a clean break.
Yeah.
This is the thing. You don't go on national television. I'm in my white dress. You don't propose to me. We leave the show and then you try to get back with me. We're done.
We're done.
We're done. And that's where Marita messed up. She was still trying to dabble with Ashley, and you should have just been done with her.
That's the danger of this year, too. It's like year long without the show, and then a year later it airs. Yeah. You be forgetting stuff. True. Yeah. Now, Marie and Mel. Woo.
So they broke up just a couple of months after filming.
Yeah, because Marie knew. Marie was trusting them instincts.
So before the episodes even aired, they were already like done.
Yeah.
And Marie was also mad. She was like, You didn't think I knew you couldn't have kids?
You couldn't have kids. Yeah. All the like little lies. It wasn't the big lies that really got Marie. It was the little ones.
Yeah.
That she was like, oh my God, how dare you say that about me?
Yeah. Because I think she was really... So I think she's talking about that scene where Mel told Dana, like, Marie doesn't know any of this about my infertility, my sickness, and all of that. which Maria's like, I've literally been like nursing you through your fucking sickness. So how dare you put on TV, kind of downplay the seriousness of our relationship and how entrenched I am in your life, right? So she was, big mad about that. Then she's going off about Brussels sprouts, some shit. Mel.
I was like, we're really going off about a roasted vegetable recipe?
A recipe?
You probably got on TikTok?
Right.
On the side?
It's not even your recipe, probably.
It's not your family's Brussels sprout. And don't y'all own a food truck? Both of y'all know how to cook food.
That was so petty. It was just so petty. Not unnecessary.
I know.
Then they get into the Spotify receipts.
Yeah.
They debate if it actually was proof. And I mean, just from the playlist title alone, they definitely had sex. A version of sex, whatever. Because that was the whole thing, the definition of sex. And how, which is interesting, like for queer folks, it's just a much broader term or broader definition. And how they really can slide into those loopholes and technicalities. So crazy.
That's how Dana said she never had sex with Mel. We heard moaning and we heard panting, but she never had sex with Mel.
And even on stage, she's like, we're not getting into it. I said that we did it. Like, she didn't want to keep going into it.
Like, what? Girl, y'all using roses on each other? That's the same. Like, what? I can't. I've had so many questions about it, but there's no lesbian here. Jody's not here. Nobody's lesbian here. I just have like satisfaction versus penetration is just like an interesting thing with me, especially with women, particularly with only women. Actually, I feel like gay men get satisfied and penetrated most of the time. I don't know. It's interesting to me.
It is interesting, and just the concept of like infidelity. How looser it is.
Yeah.
And just how much more difficult it is to say you cheated on me. Well, technically how? What do you mean? Like, and how that can drive you crazy in a sense, because it's like, I know what I feel in my heart to feel like I am cheated on. Yeah. And you just gotta be super, super, super clear in your coupling on what our shared you have to have a shared definition of what sex is and what cheating is. And they are all, because you're mixing you're mixing couples. So you're mixing couples who have different versions of what sex is, and so it's just a big fucking mess. And then they bring up the matching tattoos. They're both just kind of living with it, and like they honestly both seem regretful.
They don't look at them.
Yeah. I can't believe they did that, yo.
Me either. And they like looked into camera sober with the lights on and said it was a good idea.
Yeah. Oof. And like they were bonding over both making an irresponsible, fun decision.
Yeah.
Nuts. Kyle and Bridget, they are finally living together. I know that apartment stank and it's a mess right now.
Yeah, it's probably pretty bad. They probably have something, a really irresponsible pet, like a parakeet. You know?
They have birds. They have reptiles.
They have a reptile for sure. They have a reptile, and it's in Brooklyn, in a like 500 square foot 1 bedroom.
Fifth floor walk up.
It's
just a mess. She's doing pottery in the corner, so there's always clay everywhere. She's got a kiln in the back, so it's hot. Like,
it's hot as shit. She got curls, so there's curls all over the bathroom, like all over the tub. Like,
they just seem like a mess to me, honestly. Like.
They look so fabulous together, though. If I saw them walking down the street, I would be like, "Oh my god,
good-looking couple! They look so cool together." Yes, I love them aesthetically, but otherwise, like, this is a fucking mess. They cannot convince me otherwise. So, nothing really. I mean, did anything stand out? Nothing really stood out from them.
No, not really. No. They gave them a whole thing with their parents, which is how you know nothing's happening.
Yeah. Haley and Pilar, they're still together. Haley proposed to Pilar as well. They're planning to do an elopement. And a really nice update was Pilar brought Haley to a family event.
Yeah.
And did her usual thing, which was introduce her as Haley. This is Haley. This is Haley. And then like snapped out of it and was like, no, this is Haley, my fiance. And was like demanding the respect. And she noticed in those moments where people, before they just say, hey, hi, this is Haley, and they, just walk away. Now they're like, oh my God, nice to meet you, congratulations. Like they had, when you introduce somebody as your fiance, you got to do something with it.
Yes, right.
You're cornered into doing something.
Yeah. And so she's not cornered into her place of being the shamed lesbian of the family.
Yeah.
Which is what happens when you say, this is Haley.
Right. And
then
like,
everybody can go, and they go talk about you.
Yeah.
Later.
So that was nice, just seeing her date. Megan Megan we'll get to too. Same thing with her family, like starting to come around and just kind of like demanding the respect. And they're both lucky in the sense that they have families that are like receptive to, I guess.
Yeah.
Still kind of working their way through it. But for them, that was like their biggest lesson was like, my family's never going to accept this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They're not just out of their own free will going to. So it's going to take me stepping on their toes and saying, this is my partner. She's coming to Thanksgiving. So, and give that energy. Like, I'm about to square up if anybody got something to say.
Or I'll leave.
Or I will leave. You will not have access to me. Or that. So, yeah, that was nice. Dana talking about Thanksgiving and, you know, they both got emotional about it. And also was interesting was them talking about like their families now watching back the show.
Yeah. So now...
Which I don't even understand this thought process. They thought they were going to go on the Ultimatum and have like this fun little keepsake to look back on. That's how they were talking about it. And now they're like, oh God, like we just did a lot of things we're not proud of. So now our family has to like watch our fucking mess. And it's like, you're going on the Ultimate. It's literally Temptation Island.
Literally.
It's like a version of that.
Yeah. You just have to tell them to not watch. But
they cannot watch this.
Yeah. How could you not?
A mess. Yeah. And then at the end they kind of just sing Joanna, the host's praises.
Yeah, ally praises. Yeah.
Which was nice. She seems lovely.
That was nice. Yeah, and that you know, she needs validation because I still don't know why she's.
I still am over here tweeting in these comments talking about what the fuck is Joanna doing here? Where's the queer people at? Like,
I feel like she took a queer person's job. Still,
sure. And that was Queer Love season 2.
That was the end of the Ultimatum.
Yeah. What did we learn this season from?
Yeah. If you're obsessed with love, does that create a happy marriage? No.
Yeah.
No, it does not. No. It just creates a delusional lady standing there in a white dress. What about you?
Yeah. And love isn't everything. We know that.
Yeah.
It's particularly in a marriage. It's a part of the puzzle. It's not, it's a huge part of the puzzle, I think. But it's not everything. And the romance and all that shit, like Marita just, I feel like is still just so young. She just needs to learn just like the different tentacles of a relationship and a marriage. And love and romance is a big part, but like, what else, girl? You gotta demand respect to get respect. I would love for people to go off in the comments, particularly any queer listeners that we have. I was really just kind of struck at the end by Megan and Pilar's stories and hearing how their families came around in the end, or are coming around in the end, and their tactics of getting there, which is to just be like, boom, this is me.
Yeah.
Which is essentially what Haley and Dana always wanted from them, but they had to arrive at that level of confidence for themselves. But I'm curious for any queer listeners who could identify with their stories, like what was your journey of getting your family around to accept you or accept your partner? Was it demanding respect that got you there? Because we saw it with 2 people this season. I just thought that was really interesting. Is that how you would counsel other people to go? Is that essentially the advice that Megan needed to hear from Haley that got her to where she needed to be? Because I think definitely with being a non-queer person, like even myself being an adult now with my parents and my siblings and I'm the baby of the family, but I'm now 35 and married in a house. Like it's just like I'm not a baby, very obviously so. And that's just like a big part of growing up is like renegotiating this relationship. Your role, how people perceive you as, how you want to break free of the chains of those perceptions that they only know you as because they know you so dearly for 35 years in my case. And I think definitely part of my journey of growing up and like renegotiating this relationship with the people in my life is just getting past having to ask for permission to do things, just doing things, saying, this is me, take it or leave it. And that's really it. Why? Because I'm 30 fucking 5 years old, and how are you going to tell me any different, you know? So I think that was just like a beautiful takeaway from this season overall. And just like a nice way to end the season, no matter how crazy and toxic Megan, Haley, Pilar, all of them were. Like, just I'm happy that's where they got to at the end. It was a nice little like
me too.
button up to the season.
Yeah.
So sound off in the comments. And this was fun.
This was fun. The Ultimatum.
Always a good time. We will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.